We welcome you inside the Blue Cross of Idaho second period break. Steelheads and Rush tied it 2-2 through 2 periods. And we start off the intermission by having a special guest on tonight. He's been known mainly for his American Ninja Warrior appearance as the Cowboy Ninja. Lance Pekus joins us. And Lance, thank you for coming on. I know it's a bit of a trek. The roads are a bit treacherous right now, heading back to Salmon, Idaho. But I guess we'll start there with the obvious of what most people know you for, and that's the Ninja Warrior. Started by watching it on season 2, just by chance, is that right?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for having me.
Sure.
And yeah, I just happened to see it. I went from kind of couch to competitors, you would say, and I said I thought I could do it, and instead of just sitting back, I decided to prove my family wrong. That kind of laughed at me and gave it a try.
Did you ever think that you would kind of get the notoriety that you have from appearing on that show?
I didn't. It was such a small show when it first started. I just kind of did it to challenge myself and push myself to do something better. And as the show's grown and I've done better, so is the recognition, and it's been a lot of fun. So
now, you are known as a Cowboy Ninja for multiple reasons. One, because Ninja Warrior, obviously, but overall, your main claim to fame for those who know you is just by the work you do each and every day, your family specifically. Tell me about your story about getting onto living ranch life and how that came to be and how you chose that lifestyle.
Yeah, so I didn't grow up on a ranch, so I kind of came into the ranching later in life. My wife actually I kind of married into the ranch, I was going to say. Yeah, at the age of 18, I started working on my father-in-law's ranch, and I really fell in love with the ranch work and the different type of stuff we're doing, working with the animals, riding the range. And it was, I grew up younger doing a lot of that stuff, but it was not, it was a whole different experience doing it as an everyday basis, changing pipe and pulling calves in the winter and stuff like that.
What are some of the things that living ranch life has kind of taught you, not just about that style of life, but also just kind of about the beef industry as a whole?
Yeah, so kind of coming from the outside and then really getting involved and more involved and then starting my own herd and having calves through the whole process, you realize how hard ranchers and farmers work to put food on the table, and what we're doing on the everyday basis to make sure these animals are getting the proper nutrition and health, and making sure that the environment is getting treated well. We use federal land to range our cows on. We want to use that year after year, and we want to give that range to our kids. So we're trying to do things right by the land, the environment, and producing a good product in the end too.
Talking with Lance Pekus here on the Blue Cross of Idaho second period break, and we're here for Beef Night on the Ice with the Idaho Beef Council and the Idaho Food Bank. And I know that a lot of farmers around Idaho are heavily involved in that because the big initiative they're talking is beef counts and trying to get really good food out and try to wipe out hunger for the entire state of Idaho. Isn't that right?
Yeah, and I've been able to help with beef counts, and it's such a great program. There's so many people in need of food, and a lot of the donations people give are box foods. And as an athlete and someone who is big into nutrition, and with my family, I know how good healthy whole foods are. And being able to get something like beef to people that are in need of hunger is an excellent source, because it's packed with protein, it's packed with amino acids and essential nutrients, and it's just one of those powerhouses that really help people.
Is that something that you've kind of also instilled in your family as well? I know you have a wife and 2 really good kids as well. Is that something that's just a part of daily life for you?
Yeah, you try to raise your kids right, but you try to lead by example as well. And just doing things by giving back and providing, helping with hunger, just working hard, or exercising and eating right. And by them watching you, they tend to follow. And hopefully this platform that American Ninja Warrior is giving me a good platform that I can be a good example for kids all over the country.
And what has something like, and we'll start with that since you brought it up, but we'll transition back to family life too. But what has the experience of American Ninja Warrior taught you about yourself, and also really about just people in general?
Yeah, so the biggest thing I've learned from American Ninja Warrior is that it's okay to try and fail. I've competed for 8 seasons now in American Ninja Warrior, and I've fallen in the water every single year. Some people would say I'd failed miserably, but then other people, it's perspective. Other people have said, oh, you've improved, you've done this, and you've done really well. So it's really looking at your accomplishments along the way and working harder, learning from your mistakes.
I know there's a lot of people that have some misconceptions about the beef industry, and especially ranching and taking care of cattle and taking care of herds and the process of going from the farm onto whether it be your dinner plate or specifically the grocery store. But again, you have an outside perspective into it, coming into it, kind of marrying into it. Yeah. So what are some things you've learned about the industry that really turn around those misconceptions that people have about raising cattle and working in the beef industry?
So the biggest misconception, especially for beef, and what a lot of people think, is that it's very commercialized and that it's just one big industry producing all the beef that's in the store. The truth is 97% of ranches are family-owned and operated. There's a lot of small moving parts within the beef industry that are involved. You got cow-calf producers that, which is what we do, is we calve out the cows and then we wean them and sell them to either backgrounders or feedlots or a grass-fed system. And each time the calves are getting sold and moved around the country and using the resources that they have available to them. And I think that's what a lot of people are thinking is, especially the general public, is that they're not really connected to where their food is coming from and the process it takes to get it there.
The last thing I'll check you with, and then we'll send you off and back to your family and back to I know there's a lot of people that have come out to see you tonight, but what's your favorite beef dish? Let's start with yours for you specifically, and then that you can cook for your family.
Yeah. So for me, for like a celebratory kind of meal, I like a good prime rib. That's kind of been our family Christmas dinner type, getting everyone around like celebration. And then I like a good tri-tip roast as well, like cooked on a smoker grill with the family, kind of thinly sliced. And then for like our family, we do a lot of good hamburger meals. We do my kids love a chili mac.
Okay.
And there's a good chili mac recipe on beefiswhatsfordinner.com. And then there's a lot of good like rice and like stir fry recipes as well.
Well, again, he's known as the Cowboy Ninja, but those around here know him as Lance Pekus. He's on American Ninja Warrior, and also a big proponent for the Idaho Beef Council, for beef counts, and a local rancher from Salmon, Idaho. Lance, again, we thank you for coming on to the show. We really appreciate it and helping to spread the message about beef, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend here.
Thank you. I appreciate having me on.